We want to welcome our Facebook friends and family to Can We Chat Here. My name is Sheila Abram, and I am coming to you all the way from the Pacific Coast. Hey, Maxine, we've got 3 time zones on here.
Oh, yeah. That's right. 3 time zones.
So I want to introduce my co-host.
And I'm Maxine Jones, and I'm on the East Coast with Miss Sheila Abram on the West Coast. So welcome to Can We Chat Here? As we say every week, Can We Chat Here is about our dreams, our goals, our stories, and our journeys. And as always, we love to bring content and special topics to our Facebook family and friends. We want to bring value to you. So last week, we interviewed 3 amazing individuals who were building a successful network marketing business with physical challenges. Well, tonight's topic is actually sponsoring individuals with physical conditions. So we have the 2 individuals who sponsored those 3 people from last week, Mr. Donte Taylor and Ray Prosperity, as we know as Lady Prosperity. So welcome to Can We Chat Here?
Hello.
Welcome, Ms. Ray.
and Lady
Mr. Donte Taylor he's logging in right now. So we give him a few moments.
Yes.
Lady
so what we're going to
wait, hold on.
why don't we?
Lady Prosperity is on the Central Time Zone. That's what I meant when I said we've got all 3 time zones here. And can we do a news break? Breaking news. Breaking news. Last week, Can We Chat Here? What was Stacy Facey saying last week? And I want to let Lady Prosperity announce Stacy Facey's good news. Stacy Facey was 1 transaction away. Old director last week on Can We Chat Here? And Lady Prosperity, can you share her good news with us?
Oh, absolutely. That 1 transaction came through as simple as what needs to be done. He said, what needs to be done? And we told him what needs to be done. He said, okay, I'm doing it. He went $500 over and above. And Stacy became a gold director.
Because they're a team, and so congratulations.
You're building an awesome team, lady. An awesome team, absolutely. So why don't we get started with Lady Prosperity? And my first question to you is, what got you started into the business?
I prayed.
That works.
I was already an owner of my own business, co-owner, and we built something from the ground up. And I had certain freedoms and not others. And I was like, well, in order to be a CEO, it should be, it shouldn't be this stressful. So my thing was having the time, because I was tied to that building freedom and the financial freedom, because I already knew that if you didn't do the same thing over and over and over again, that business was going to crumble. So I was tired. I was like, I need something else. So I promised, I said gold. A couple days later, I found Mr. Lawrence Stevens' video, Are You a Connector? And I asked him, what is that? What is that? And he never told me what it was. But I said I wanted to do it, whatever it was. And he followed up with me a couple of weeks later. I was a blue dot. I knew I wanted to do it, but I was up to my neck in paperwork, training people and all this other stuff. And when he called me back, I was excited. I was like, yes, whatever, you got to sign me up. What do I need to do? Because he said it was free. So I was like, if you sign me up or whatever, he said he offered. If you sign me up, then, what do you need? And he didn't need any personal information. He didn't need my social security number. So he signed me up over the phone. And when he sent me the email, the welcome email, it was about gold. I almost lost my mind.
You did not want to do the traditional 9 to 5.
No, ma'am. I walked away from that November 2015.
And one of the things, Mr. Donte Taylor's coming in right now. One of the things that a question I want to ask you, I don't know if all the viewers could see your beautiful granddaughter.
Go get Maya.
Now you're able, because this is your office, correct? You're in your office.
Mm-hmm.
And your grandbaby can come in and out.
She sure can.
Talk to grandma, say hi to grandma.
Mm-hmm.
Grandma can give her hugs and kisses, while you're building your business.
We're free to do that.
Hey, Pooh.
There she is.
Hi, Maya. You're on camera, Maya.
Here we go.
Hi.
See, and that's one of those perks. She's gonna remember grandma always being there.
Absolutely.
Like you told her a moment ago, you said, okay, Maya, grandma's got to go to work. Go on. You're going to know, grandma's got to work, but she still can come in and get some quality time with grandma right there. You're teaching her. You are teaching her. You're teaching her to be an entrepreneur. That's exactly what you're teaching her.
I am.
So Donte, welcome. Thank you so much for joining us on Can We Chat here.
Welcome.
How y'all doing?
We're doing great.
I don't know why, but hey, I'm here. Good to see you.
Yes, you are.
I love you.
I love you more, sis.
That's wonderful.
Listen, we just asked Lady Prosperity the first question. Maxine, can you go ahead and just ask Donte?
Sure. Okay. Donte, the question to you is, what got you started in the business of Karatbars International? What got you started?
Okay. To condense it, I've been in, ever since my military days, I've been in pretty much in either administration or finance or sales, pretty much most of my adult life. I moved out to California a few years ago. I was working, I was employed. I lost my job. So I was looking for employment. I don't want to get too religious, but I have to say this because it's actually part of my story, why I actually joined Karatbars. I heard Minister Farrakhan say that Honorable Elijah Muhammad stated that gold would be the new medium of exchange in the future. So I was on a brother's page on Facebook, and when I saw that there was a company out here that was paying you to save your money in gold, I knew that was it for me right there. So I was sold. Like a lot of my friends say, I drank all the Kool-Aid the first night. So I've been sold ever since. Yeah, definitely.
So that was a match made in heaven. You saw the gold, and you knew that was the way that you wanted to go.
I mean, definitely. I mean, because if you take my situation into consideration as well, even though I've been gainfully employed for most of my life, there's a lot of people, whether I know or people out there that's watching, that are not employed or may have had some challenges in their background. And this company allows anybody, doesn't matter what your background is, doesn't matter what it is, it allows you to get started no matter where you're at for free. I said it at Let's Go Weekend, if it would have cost $5, I would have been able to get in at the time, because that's what my situation was. But because Karatbars allows anybody to sign up for free, get in and start building a business, it's up to you. I was hooked. So it was a unique opportunity, not just for myself, but a lot of people that were in similar situations.
And that's such a great answer that you gave. You can start for free. And sometimes people, because they can start for free, they actually treat it like it's some freebie. And what you did, Donte, is you took the business. You're like, you know what? I can start for free and make some money. That's what I'm going to do. I can remember we would have a lot of different webinars called Watch Me Work. Maxine dropped off. Watch Me Work. And you used to be on there and and you just talking to people.
That helped me out a lot. I was just telling some new affiliates, and I'm actually going to start implementing some of that with the help of Lady Prosperity. She's been helping out a lot. But I want to start doing that with my team, because the Watch Me Work, especially when I first got in, I don't know if you guys had just started doing it, but that was huge. That was huge for me to learn, to hear other people, and to let other leaders hear me as well.
Yeah. And we would come in and we would give great results as to what happened. And it was just a wonderful thing. But you know what? I want to ask Lady Prosperity, how long had you known Douglas and Stacy Facey before they signed up?
Well, Facebook just reminded me that me and Stacy been connected for 3 years. So in my old venture, I saw what she was doing. She saw what I was doing. We both were doing ministry. And we just connected. She supported me and I supported her on social media. And it was just something I could just tell in her posts. And I know the struggles that come with ministry, like they're real. And I just knew she was authentic. And I knew if she had a chance to have a real friend or somebody that was really there to just, whatever you're going through, I got you, I understand. But that's how I felt in my heart from a distance. Only thing that I could do is say, you know, I can pray for you or try to encourage her or play a song when I was on the radio for her. But I always said that if I could ever do something to help her and her family, it was a post she made and it broke my heart and I never forgot it. They didn't have enough money to feed their family. And I didn't have enough money because as a business owner, you know what that is. Every single dime goes out faster than you get it. And then your expenses go up and your income goes down, because if you're in a real competitive market, all people have to do is drop their prices. So I couldn't afford to help her. So I just kept her in the back of my mind as if I had a chance to give something to her and her family, I would. And I just remembered her. So I think May of last year, I presented it to her. She said yes, didn't do anything. I didn't even get mad because I knew she was busy, but I knew that she was watching and I knew that she was a seed. I just knew that. And in November of last year, I ain't gonna lie, y'all, I was just so tired after the hurricane and stuff. I was like, I can't do it, I'm tired. I want to quit. This is just for real. I just want to quit. I'm tired of everything, tired of everybody. I want to quit. So I prayed. I was like, Lord, if you want me to do it this way, fine, but I quit. And it was like, no, it was rough, you know, trying to figure out where you're gonna sleep at night, you know, just all kind of stuff. It was crazy. Anywho, I chose to pray about it, and he said, call Stacy Facey. And I just knew Stacy was gonna say, what do you mean? I can't even take care of my family, but I know that that's what he told me to do. And it was something that she said. She was like, I need to quit working both of these jobs. I have 5 children. I have this. And it changed something in my approach. And I said, well, give me 6 months. She said, okay. 4 months later, she quit one of her jobs. A couple of weeks ago, she's like, Lady Prosperity, I think I need to have another conversation. But I like to be able to help, because that's what we said we were going to do together. And we did it, and we still got work to do. And I commit to help her until she's financially free.
Yeah, see, that's a power. You don't give up, and you keep going back to people, because sometimes when they're at their lowest, they don't feel that they can take on another endeavor.
Yeah.
And sometimes they hear, wait a minute, you mean I got to build a team?
Yeah.
And it's like, I don't have the energy, but what you don't realize, what you did for her, bringing her into this wonderful industry, you've actually given her an opportunity to do something she can do, and do something that's going to fit her family's situation. You know, it's just a beautiful thing to continue to share. And I want to ask you, Donte, that exact same question. And that question is this: how long had you known Christopher Chowbey before you introduced him to Carrot Bars?
Well, not to tell my age, because I just turned 22 now.
Your son is 22.
I got out of the Marine Corps. I was stationed in Virginia. I was stationed in Quantico, Virginia. Thank you. Once I got out of the Corps, I was in Landover for a while, but I moved up. Once I moved up to Largo, I probably hadn't been there but a couple of months. There's a good friend of ours, a mutual friend, Dexter Adams. He's in business as well. But he introduced me to Christopher Chowbey. And like I said, we got over 20, to put an actual, we're probably at about 23, 4 years. And one thing I can say about myself and Chris, we got some crazy stories, but we connected really early. It was something we're a lot alike. He's a very passionate brother. And even after I left Maryland, we stayed in contact, not a lot. I don't say like that, not a lot, but we stayed in contact. I ran into him in Nashville on a whim one day. It's just crazy. But yeah, me and Chris, and without going too deep into his challenge, but when the challenges started to progress more, we talked a little more. Not a whole lot, but yeah, I guess maybe to answer the question, we're 20 plus years.
Yeah, because on last week's stream, Christopher and Doug and Stacy Faces, they told their physical challenge stories. So if you did not see it, you could go back onto our Can We Chat Here page on Facebook. It's Can We Chat Here. Go ahead and look at that segment from last week, because we did have some challenges. The Zoom platform would not continue staying connected to Facebook, but powerful stories from the two of them, really powerful stories. So Maxine, I'm going to turn the next question over to you.
Okay. So
give us some tissue.
You knew that they had physical challenges, but what made you reach out to them to become an affiliate? What did you see in them that said, you know, despite the physical challenges, you knew that they could do this? I'm going to start with you, Lady Prosperity.
I knew her heart. Mm-hmm. You know, it's excuse me. It was some things that Mr. Best said. And one of the things that he said basically is, you can choose who you want to work with.
Oh, yeah.
Absolutely. And I know what type of person I am. I'm not going to give anything. And if I am, I won't deal with you. Mm-hmm. And her situation just moved me more than what I was going through. Mm-hmm. And I heard the conviction. She's just now finding out what I was going through during that hurricane. Mm-hmm. And it amazes me that you can love people that much to where you would just focus on being a light for them. I felt like if it was the last good deed I could do, let me give it to the Faces.
Mm-hmm. One of the things that I love about Karatbars International that we always share on the power calls and, live events or whatever, that it's not about us. It's about other people. It's about helping other people, transforming lives, changing lives. Mm-hmm. So, Ray, that's what you were doing, mm-hmm. reaching out and transforming someone else's life. Now, mm-hmm. Mr. Donte Taylor, the same question for you, sir. You saw and you knew what Mr. Christopher Chaubey was going through. He has a tremendous testimony. And like Ms. Sheila said, if you did not see that segment, please go back and watch it. But what made you reach out to him and say, listen, I want you to be a part of my team. I want you to be on board and do this, and believe that he could do it with all that he was going through?
But you know what? It's kind of crazy because, like I said, because we didn't talk all the time, I was starting to get texts from mutual friends saying, hey, give Chris a call. He's not really doing really well. I'd really love to hear from you. So we would communicate more. Now, I actually have gotten a business, and I went to DC I was out there for less than 48 hours. And I actually didn't discuss it with him then. I know he was going through some things. I didn't discuss it with him then, but it was his birthday. And I don't think, if I'm not mistaken, I didn't know that was actually the day that he was cured. That's why it's so crazy how it all happened. But I had been thinking, I said, you know what? I know Chris. You have to know Chris, and you guys know. I know him really personally. He's a strong.
He's a fighter.
And everything that he was doing, oh man! And if you really didn't know, if he didn't tell you what he was going through, and if you just assumed he was a small stature guy, you wouldn't know that he was even going through anything. Unless he was having one of those days. So he's already, like I said, he's a strong individual. So when I called him on his birthday to tell him happy birthday, I was like, look, brother, I got something for you. You need to take a look at this. You need to, and I think before I even got it out, he had told me that he had gotten, I think he had, if I'm not mistaken, I think he had just gotten the word that day as well that he was here.
He shared that.
When I told him, and if I'm not mistaken, he didn't even look at the video. He was like, man, what you waiting on? Let's go. So, I mean, because again, like I said, I know him. I don't know why. And I think maybe initially I'd only been in for a couple months. Not sure why I didn't bring it up to him in October. But on his birthday, it was like, yeah, I'm going to call him. Hopefully brighten his day. Yeah.
He said you were so excited that you didn't even wish him a happy birthday.
Hey,
that's what he said.
Hey, like I said, me and Chris,
we gave him the best birthday present ever. You really did.
Hey, he's like I said a lot. I mean, I'm not. He's my inspiration as well. I mean, as well as a lot of people. He's like I said, he's a strong brother. I'm so proud of him. He's phenomenal. He's just taking off. He's just taking off. Just like the States.
I'm gonna jump down because really we've already asked what made you invite, Christopher and Doug and Stacy. We've already answered that one. So I'm gonna ask this one. Now this is just in general for both of you. How do you connect with prospects? What's your method of connecting with prospects in your business?
Go, Donte.
Go, Donte. Let me tell you. Chris is my witness, and anybody that's been around me.
Yeah.
I'm a little unorthodox, but I think maybe it's because of my sexual background, whether my personal music, back in the day or whatever. I'm the kind of what I like to call a hand-to-hand person. If I go to the AM/PM and get some gas, if you say hello to me, you're going to end up getting a business card. I'm going to hopefully get your phone number. If you're anywhere around me, no matter where I'm at, I'm going to engage you. Like I said, this business works for me. I'm a talkative person, so it works for me wonderfully. So, I mean, I'm going to engage. Now, I do social media. I inbox people and I do that, but I do a lot more of from the Watchman work. I do a lot more people on the street and calling and following up. That's kind of my thing. I like to. It doesn't matter what you look like or whatever, because again, I've learned through the years. I mean, through this time that I'm offering an opportunity, and with the street ministry thing that we have, I mean, it doesn't matter who you are. There was a brother on the bus earlier. I saw him getting off the bus and he looked like he may have been having some challenges. Here, brother, take a look at this card. You have a phone or you don't have a phone. When you get near a phone, give me a call. This card will change your life, brother. I mean, so that's I'm as my brother-in-law called me, I'm anybody killer.
Now, Lady Prosperity, I'm going to ask you the same question. What is what's your particular prospecting method? What do you really like and gravitate to?
I have a more strategic approach. Again, it was something that Ty Best said in the beginning. I need everybody to know that if you don't plug in, you got to plug in. You have got, this is something new that you don't have any understanding of, you have got to plug in, and it is recommended to plug in for 90 days straight. I recommend don't miss anything else for the rest of the year.
I'm in agreement. Yeah.
I did that. I didn't miss anything. Okay. But I had a more strategic approach, and Mr. Best said, go into all of your networks. I am like the cat that lived 9 lives, literally. I've traveled a lot of places all over the world. I've been in the military. I've been in ministry. I've been in radio, television, everything. So I'm better at building bridges that were never burnt. So I went to every single area of people that I already had relationships with, because I'm better that way. And I have yet to write a list, but it's because I took this seriously. Mm-hmm. And I said, because of the way that my time was distributed and I had a whole lot of responsibilities, I said, if I'm going to break any rules, I'm going to give it all I got.
Yeah.
Because the Wealth Builders Worldwide system is a system that works for anybody. I was not a professional network marketer. Yes, I was experienced in business and with people in networking, and I didn't know it. But when I realized I had a plethora of information from other fields of life that I had been in, customer service, administration, training, and all this stuff, project management, all of that, you have to find that thing in you and add value to it. Personalize what the wealth builders are teaching you or wherever you're getting your training from and make it your own. You still have to spread your wings and fly. We can't do it. You got to do that.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
No.
I went into teacher mode.
One of the things, though, when Maxine and we did a test, we had you on the platform to make sure you could log in. Mm-hmm. And you told us, you were sitting up, you were planning. And you were
working on a 6-month plan.
Yep. She said, I'm working on my 6-month plan. And she picked up notepad. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm a new student in the Lady Prosperity class.
Yeah. What'd you say, Donte?
No, I'm sorry. I said, no, I am officially a new student in the Lady Prosperity Leadership Training class. Believe me, she's out cold. I mean, yeah. Hey, I love you. Thank you for all your help because she's really.
It's nothing hard, It's amazing. Listen, I'm gonna be honest. Can I please?
Yeah.
I watch you guys.
We're chatting. Be honest.
I watch you guys, and I would never want your job. Okay. Because it's very demanding.
Yes.
You have to be in front of people all the time. If you have a transparent moment, it may have, it's just got too many consequences. You know what I'm saying? So I was like, well, let me step out and see what it's like to actually handle responsibilities like that. I know how to do Can We Chats. I know how to do presentations. I know what's gonna go with the power call, and so do you. We don't have to wait on leadership to say, stick your foot in that water and get out there and talk to people, and especially use your warm market. You'll feel so much better from somebody saying no than somebody you don't know saying no. Go back to your people in your downline that you've already talked to, and you should have a new confidence. I am a gold director elite of a $1 billion debt-free company. I wear that.
Yeah.
We should
about posture. It's about posture.
I'm passionate about this thing. You can't be passionate about it if you're not plugged in. You can't say anything about it if you're not getting the results. So hush your mouth, get the results, do the work for yourself, strategically plan your way, work with your team, honor your leaders, and get it done. That's all I do.
Yeah. But you're right, though. It takes a level of responsibility. And with that level, especially if you've chosen, naturally in actually my whole professional adult career, I've always ended up in management positions from my time with 18 years at the Postal Service.
Oh, yes.
To starting my own businesses. I have always been in leadership. And with that, it does take a responsibility. But for me, the biggest responsibility in this whole network marketing environment is you're really building true relationships with people.
Yes.
And you're helping them accomplish their goals. That's completely different from owning your own business. See, all my employees, they help accomplish my goal.
Yeah.
They help accomplish the goal of whatever corporation because I have more than one, that they're involved with. Those are my goals. And if they're not completely meeting my goals, I have to talk to them about it. Okay. In network marketing, I have to help meet your goal. What do you need from me? How can I help you? Because some people, what my strengths might be, it might be my team leader's weakness. We need to pull together and pull on whatever my strengths are versus whatever your strengths are. And we utilize each other's strengths to build a better team and a better business. That is so important. And that's something that I'm learning.
Yeah.
I'm 3 years learning into this. 3 years
being a corporate person.
Yeah.
But you can tell the difference.
Yeah. When I talked to Ray earlier, we were talking, And I said, it's about the team. And that's where the difference is. It's about the team. Like you just shared about what is it that you need from me? Well, it's about the other person. You have to find out from them, where their weaknesses are, and you in your position, and Donte in developing people, the cohesiveness of the team, and everybody come together to forward and go further and higher and to the next level. But it's always about the team. There are no stars per se.
I wanted to say something else too that I learned, that as a sponsor, you can't be out here just bringing people into something and dropping them off. Mm-hmm. You have to be responsible to their questions, if they need strategies. And that means if you're not plugged in, if you're not actively participating, if you're not listening to the voice of the visionary, your leaders, if you're not doing that, then you're not doing your team good service at all. And it was a level in my business where I had to stop and I said, wait a minute, we've surpassed just plugging in the power calls and going to Let's Go Weekend. Something is changing here. And you have to develop. You have to develop. You owe it to your team. You owe it to your family. You owe it to everybody, because we can't do this without each other. We just can't.
That's so true. That's so true. Maxine, do we have another question? I think it's the last one.
Yeah. But I was saying, Mr. Best said being a leader is inconvenient. So you have to be there for your team. Yeah. Yes. Okay.
I just said that.
I'll start with.
But you gotta love it though.
Yeah.
You gotta love
it. You're breaking up, Maxine.
Both of you. I'll start with you first, Ray. And Doug. How have they impacted your team?
Doug and Stacy?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Oh man, they made me believe in the system. You know what I'm saying? I was following the steps. Following the steps. I was going to the trainings. I was doing everything I hadn't duplicated. So 18 whole months in the business, I hadn't duplicated. So I felt like I failed. And I was like, they put my faith back into the business. They put my faith back into me. They made me step my game up as a leader. And, they made me step outside of my comfort zone. And I'm happy.
That's great. Yeah.
I'm done.
That's important. Yeah. That's important.
Maxine, you're kind of breaking up. So
is that what's happening?
Yeah, she's breaking up.
Donte, am I frozen?
No, you're frozen.
I just said, am I frozen?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, Donte, I'm going to ask you the question. How has, having Christopher Chalbe on your team, and only because we're talking about Christopher Chalbe and Doug and Stacy Facey, you both have a downline with a lot of leaders that are really making the team grow. But we're just asking about, Christopher Chalbe because we interviewed him last week. So how has Christopher Chalbe impacted your team?
I mean, it's almost hard to say. I mean, because again, just even if you take his story out of it, I mean, his story alone has just helped my team. Just his story, but even if you take that out, what he did
making me laugh.
For me was it's like he legitimized my effort. All the effort I have been putting into the business, just learning as I'm going and making mistakes. He and to this day, he's still probably the only person, or at least so far to my knowledge, he's. I didn't think I could probably meet anybody like me in the business that's going to go just as hard.
No,
but because he grabbed a hold and started running, it was like I had somebody to run with. So it's almost like being in the woods somewhere. It's a lot of times it's easier to have somebody than when you're by yourself, even if you just have somebody to bounce things off.
Mm-hmm.
I think somebody has. Does somebody have the phone on, because we're hearing feedback from Donte's voice? Go ahead, Donte.
My phone died.
Oh.
Hey, okay. But yeah, I mean, and because he has the serious work ethic wants to learn as much as he can. He's not. He's
very passionate.
He's not sleeping at all. It's very impressive
he is.
on other people as well. So a lot of people see him and then they see his story and they, wow, Donte. So I mean, he has been. I mean, he's been huge for my team. I mean, even if I just say it selfishly, I mean, he's been a huge help for me and I mean for my team. Definitely, he legitimized everything.
Frozen?
No, you're not frozen. You're good, Maxine.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
but you're cute.
I'm like, it stacks up so much. And sometimes I don't know whether I'm frozen or not. It's like, okay, just sit there. Don't say anything.
You ladies looking nice tonight as well. You definitely looking
And so are you, handsome.
yes, indeed. So, you know, Donte, since we're talking to you, I want to ask you one closing question. When we talk about your dreams and your aspirations in Carrot Bars, where do you see yourself a year from now?
A year from now?
And we just threw this in. I know I just threw this in.
That's good.
I can tell you. But I see myself. So
that's because this was her long-term goals.
I'll definitely be a Gold Director Elite. And hopefully, I only like to say hopefully, I'll be hosting a Day of the Power Call. And hopefully,
we can hear you.
Uh-oh, your sound cut out, Donte.
Oh, it did? Oh,
we can hear you.
Okay.
You were winking. What were you winking?
Okay, I said in a year, I'll be Gold Director Elite. In a year, I'll be moderating Power Call. And 3, I'll be a leader speaking at Let's Go Weekend.
Hey,
there you go. And you know, it's interesting. You're already reaching one of those goals. You definitely you tried your hat as moderating our Thursday Power Call.
You did a good job too.
But let me say this. Thank you so much. But let me say this in all seriousness. I'm definitely in this for me, but I'm not in it for me. I'm in it for my family. And I've always been a person that wanted to help the world. So with all that being stated, hopefully if that happens, that means that I've helped a ton of people because that's what it's all about. So I'm hoping that I can help change a lot of other people's lives along that journey. So,
and with that being said, on May 23rd, Mr. Donte Taylor will be back with his another segment on the Power Call. Donte will have his little open music, a small amount of it, and it was so funny. I have to just tell this.
Tell the story.
I am oh my goodness, I am very structured. And it takes it takes a minute for me to just let go of something. So when Donte sent me his pre-call, I thought, oh, okay, you know, let's run with it. But then he sent me his little opening music he wanted. I listened to it. No, that wasn't it. After I said, oh, you picked something else. Okay. I was like
no.
Right? You'll hear it the next time.
Yeah, and so I talked to Mr. Tybest because, you know, Mr. Tybest, he is our leader and he's our mentor. And, you know, we talked about, you know, how Donte did on the Power Call. Mr. Best loved it. And I said, you're not going to believe this, Mr. Best. Do you want to know what he wanted for his intro? And I'm not going to steal your thunder, Donte.
You can tell him.
No, right. Don't tell.
No. He wanted, Donte Taylor wanted Fight the Power. Absolutely.
Not a revolution, Donte.
That's not happening. And you know what Tybest said? Tybest said, look, we all could use just a little bit of Fight the Power. He said, because that's exactly what we are doing. We are fighting the power at
B. Yes. We're fighting. So it's quite apropos.
So Donte
was in a culture shock.
Just a little bit. This is all about variety. You know, we still remember it's motivational and inspirational, but Donte Taylor, he inspires people.
Yes, he does.
So his flavor, added to the power call, he will inspire, and that's what we're here to do.
I love it. Congratulations.
So I want to ask you, I was going to call you Lady Prosperity.
Yes.
Where do you see yourself a year from now?
Well, can I give you the 7 months first? Because I'm pretty sure what's going to happen.
Okay.
7 months.
7 months.
Okay. So everybody that I'm personally mentoring right now, they're going all the way up to Gold Director. I'm going to inadvertently become Gold Director Elite 3. I've already started a training program where I'm personally mentoring certain people that I've watched, and I want to pour into them and help them get to Gold Director, help them get to Director, show them how to get in there and really work with their team, strategize with their team. And I want to see at least 100 of those people walk across the stage at the Freedom Celebration as Gold Directors. That's what I'm working on right now. Hey.
Well, it's been a pleasure having both of you. Miss Maxine Jones, I'm going to turn this over to you. Hopefully, don't move too much because I think that's when you freeze. So go ahead and close us out.
Okay. Well, it's been an absolute pleasure having both of you on. And I'm sure we're going to get a lot of hits on this because you're both so exciting. But next week, we are going to be having, the topic is going to be, she won't give
I'm sorry. Okay.
Having those of who have a traditional business as well as building a network marketing business all at the same time. So we're going to have a segment on that. And I want to also remind everyone to submit their topics for suggestions for Can We Chat Here. So when you go to canwechathere.info.
I think Lady Prosperity has a suggestion.
Oh, she got one. Okay. Wait a minute.
The importance of understanding your free tools.
I got my book.
Oh, okay. The importance of aiding and assisting your leaders by stepping up to the plate.
That is too long.
Oh my God. We'll have to short
I'm just trying to make it nice.
You talked about the understanding your free tools. I really like that. I
like that. Okay.
That's a great topic because we have a lot of free tools that definitely can. That's an excellent.
I like that. Yeah. Someone gave us a great topic.
Yeah, thank you.
We've been asking for it. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Can you close us out, Maxine?
Tune in. Yes, tune in next week. It's been our pleasure to have Lady Prosperity, Ray Prosperity, and Mr. Donte Taylor, and our vision actually for Can We Chat Here. So it's been our pleasure to be here with you, and we will see you next week again at the same time, 6 p.m. Pacific and 9 p.m. Daylight Savings Time. Thank you all for being on Can We? Where's Maya?
We made it.
Yeah.
They left.
Oh, okay.
Street Team Ministries.
There we go.
Everybody in Care Bars. Wow, we love you.
And everybody, please go to our Facebook page, Can We Chat Here? Look at last week's episode with Christopher Chow Bay and Doug and Stacy Facey. If you haven't seen it, this particular Can We Chat Here, you're missing something.
That one.
This is part B. You need to see part A. You really need to see part A, and you'll know why these sponsors are so proud. So thank you so much. Everybody have a wonderful evening. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.